of shock results this past midweek over in Italy, of course, as Internazionale and Roma suffered a defeat. What's going to go on this weekend as the games come thick and fast? We'll talk about it, all of it, next. Today we're taking a look at match number 7, that's right, over in Italia, that's right, of course. Trying to bounce back, that's Internazionale, of course, after a shock defeat this past midweek. Can they do it? We'll take a look at it, all of it, in a second. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs, of course, you know who you are. Of course, this is a one-stop shop for Rovers related, Serie Aand related, world football related. We're going to all hear, boys, under one roof skin. What's gone wrong with Mourinho's boys? They're all the way down into bloody 16th. Are they relegation candidates? We'll take a look at it in a second. Big shout out to the VIPs. You know who you are. That's, of course, the Patreons, of course. Let's get into it. Because we cannot wait. We cannot dilly-dally because the weekend is just upon us. So let's recap the results right here, right now, as I just gear up the old Super Brew. See how we got on over there then, shall we? This is, of course, the recap of the results. Of course, mine's on the left, the real deal's on the right. Juventus, 3-0 winners over Lecce was my pick. It was just a 1-0 win. Meanwhile, AC Milan with a 3-1 win over Cagliari. Of course, I went with a 2-1 win, not too shabby there. And Paoli picked up a big win over Salernitana. I went with a draw myself. Atalanta with a 1-0 win over Verona. 2-1 win in my eyes. Inter, shock loss there. 2-1 win for Sassuolo. Of course, I went the other way. Lazio up and running with a 2-0 win over Torino. I got them on spot on the nose. Napoli with a big 4-1 win over Udinese. I went with a 3-1 win myself on that one. Frosinone with a draw against Fiorentina. Big result that. Meanwhile, Monza and Bologna with a 0-0 draw. I went with the 1-1. 4-1 it was between Genoa and Roma. That's right. Now, we'll add all that up in a minute, shake it all about a bit, and take a look at the Super Brew in just a second. This is the table, though. As you can see, Internazionale 11 on points with the nearest and dearest. That's AC Milan. Juventus with a touching distance, as are Atalanta, of course. The old Dezebri, old boys right there. Of course, down the bottom there, it's Udinese, Empoli, and Cagliari. That's right. What's his name? Ranieri's boys. Let's get into it then. Let's not sugarcoat it. It is the Super Brew, and we'll see how we all get on then, shall we? That's the link if you want to get involved. It is 100% free. So let's throw this badger in the mixer down here. Of course, gear it up in all its glory. How do we look at it? How do we get into this? There we go. So here we go then. Recap the results. Saki, top bonus there, 15.5 points. Well done to you. Zandos with 12.5. And Maka with 11.5. And then the chasing pack, which includes me, that's right, with 11 points on there. Of course, just outside the bronze medal spot there. Half a point. And I could have been celebrating. Could have been doing backflips myself. So that's, of course, the situation there. We cannot really get a good look at the leaderboard. I think they are reshaking things up a little. Everything's a little bit crazy because the final whistle has just rung in my ears. So guess what? It's a bit of a mystery. So we're going to have to wait and see, guys. But I think I did well, whatever happens. So we look forward to seeing all that probably next week. But let's get cracking then, of course, recapping then or going over the next games, of course. Don't forget the Super Brew for the next one. It is, of course, free to enter. Nothing's going to cost you anything at all. It's just about competition. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. So these are the games for this weekend. So let's kick it all off with, of course, one of the belters, of course, this week is Atalanta up against Juventus, actually on Sunday, October the 1st. These two sides have played each other 55 times in 1993. We've got 5 wins at Atalanta. We've got 35 wins for Juventus. And we've got 15 draws, of course. 3-0 win was the biggest for the host there, scoring 49 goals in those 55 matches, 0.89 goals a game. Up against Juventus, their biggest win, 4-0 win, scoring 105 goals in those 55 games. So that's 1.91 goals a game ratio, of course. 75% form, though, for Juventus. Just one defeat in the past 6. They are third in the table with 13 points on the board. Up against Atalanta, who are fourth with 12 points on the board. And, of course, 1-3 on the bloody bounce. Last time around, of course, over at the Greece Stadium, it was a 2-0 win for Juventus back in May 2023. In fact, the home side hasn't won this game in the last 5 matches, including a friendly, so that's not too looking to it too just straight down the middle there. Of course, the odds here, we've got 6-4 is Atalanta, we've got 9-5 is Juventus, we've got 12-5 is the draw as well. This one could go either way, but I'm back in a 2-2 draw right down the middle, point split. I think Juventus will be happy to keep on moving. Atalanta just keep it on moving, and of course, unbeaten. Once again, let's get into Bologna against Empoli, of course, that's coming at you on Sunday, October the 1st. These two sides have played each other 18 times since 1988. We've got 4 wins for Bologna, we've got 7 wins for Empoli, we've got 7 draws, of course. Bologna's biggest win over Empoli, 3-1 win, scoring 18 goals in those 18 matches. Of course, you could do the math on that one. Next up, of course, we have 3-1 win, the biggest for Empoli, scoring 22 goals in those 18 matches, 1.22 goals a game as well. Empoli, though, just the 1 win in the last 6. It was the last one, 17% form for them, but they, of course, moved up to 19th. With that result there, 3 points in the can as well. Bologna unbeaten in the last 5, however, 4 of the last 5 have been draws, 50% form for them at the minute, 13th of the table with 7 points on the board. Last time around, though, over at the Renato D'Adiaria, it was a 1-0 win for Empoli, who are, of course, unbeaten over Bologna over the last 4. In fact, they just lost once of the last 6 against them, so they like playing them over recent times. Anyway, the odds for this, 13-8 on is, of course, your Bologna, 3-1's draw, and 9-2 is, of course, the away win here. Going to go with the 1-0 win for Bologna, bounce back, of course, and, of course, Dent Empoli once again. Let's kick on forward to the next one. It's Fiorentina against Cagliari. That's, of course, Cagliari are struggling. This is on a Monday. Full of games. 3 matches on a Monday, of course, over in Serie Aand. This is one of them. Played each other 46 times since 1984. We got 22 wins for Fiorentina. We got 12 wins for Cagliari, and we got 12 draws. Of course, biggest win for Fiorentina was a 4-0 win, scoring 67 goals in those 46 games. Of course, 1.46 goals a match. Cagliari, though, the biggest win for them, 5-2 win for them, scoring 48 goals in those 46 matches. That's 1.04. Cagliari, though, without a win in the last 6, they are, of course, rock bottom now, 2 points on the board. I guess Fiorentina have just suffered 1 defeat in the last 6, 67% form for them, of course, 7th in the table, where that's 11 points on the board right now. Last time around, over at the Stadio Atmero Fracci, it was a 1-1 draw back in January 2022. Scrap that. It was actually a 3-0 with Fiorentina, who are unbeaten against Cagliari the last 6, actually last 5, picking up 2 wins and 3 draws, of course. Last time around between these two sides was that, of course, the odds is 20-9 on is your Fiorentina, 7-2 is the draw, 11-2 is your away win. Got to back the Fiorentina here with a 2-0 win. Of course, Cagliari are dog shit, and they're in trouble right now. Of course, Lecce against Napoli, of course, Lecce doing all right for themselves. Napoli, of course, trying to keep it into the mixer there with a lot of off-the-field drama this past week or so. 22 times they played each other since 1993. We've got 5 wins for Lecce, we've got 9 wins for Napoli, we've got 8 draws. Of course, biggest win for Lecce was a 3-1 win, scoring 28 goals in those 22 matches, of course, 1.27 goals a game. Napoli, of course, with at the minute, biggest win for them, 4-1 win, 36 goals scored in the 22 matches. That's 1.64 goals a game. They are, of course, 5th in the table with 11 points on the board, 67% form for them, just 1 defeat the past 6. Up against Lecce, who are, of course, also on 67% form. They're 6th with 11 points, and, of course, just 1 defeat the past 6 as well. Last time around, at Lecce over in the Via del Mar, it was a 2-1 win for Napoli, of course. The home side hasn't won this game in the last 5. But 3 of those last 5 were in Lecce. That's right. Kicking on forward the odds here. We have 50-4 is your Lecce, of course, 14-5 is the draw, and 4-3 on is your Napoli. Of course, the champions are going to win this one, aren't they? 2-0 win for them. Lecce are good so far, had a good season. It's going to get a bit rough this weekend, though. 2-0 for the champs. Next up, we have AC Milan against Lazio, the game of the round. That's right, coming at you on Saturday, the 30th of September. Played each other 71 times since 1993. We've got 32 wins for Milan, 15 wins for Lazio, 24 draws, of course. Biggest win for Milan, 4-0 win. Scored 105 goals in those 71 matches. That's 1.48 goals a game. Up against Lazio, 4-0 win. Their biggest, 81 goals scored in 71 matches. That's 1.14 goals a game. 50% form, though, for Lazio. That's Sarri ball at the minute. Just 1 defeat the past 5. 12th in the table with 7 points on the board. Up against Milan, of course, 4 unbeaten in the last, well, actually not unbeaten, they were just 1 defeat past 6, 75% form for them. They are 2nd with 15 points on the board, of course, level on points with the leaders, Internazionale, of course. Last time around, over at the Giuseppe Meazza, it was a 2-0 win for Milan. That's back in May 2023. The way sides only won once of the last 6 between these two sides. That's when Milan beat Lazio in Roma. Of course, back in 2022. The odds for this, though, 11-8 on is your Milan. Of course, 13-5 is draw. And 4-1 is your way. We're going to go a 2-1 win, close one. But, of course, Milan taking the 3 points. And, again, putting Lazio in a bit of trouble. Next up, of course, we have Roma, who are also in a big bit of trouble. Against Frosinone, of course. That's happening on Sunday, October the 1st. Now, these two sides have played each other 6 times. 8 is 6 wins out of 6 for Mourinho. Nothing for Frosinone, and nil draws, of course. Roma, biggest win for them. 4-0 win, scoring 17 goals in the 6 matches. That's 2.83 goals a game. Up against Frosinone, have just scored 4 goals in the 6 matches. That's 0.67 goals a game. However, Frosinone flying high up to 8th with 9 points on the board. Of course, unbeaten in the last 6 now. Of course, however, 3 of the last 4 have been draws. Up against Mourinho's boys, just 1 defeat past 4 for them. 42% form, 16th for the table with 5 points on the board. Last time around at the Stadio Olimpico, it was a 4-0 win for Roma back in September 2018. The odds for this, though, we have 9-4 on as your Roma, 16-5 is the draw, and 7-1 is your away win here. Back in Roma here, 3-0 win, more goals, and of course, get themselves moving up the chain as well. Next up, Salernitana up against Internazionale, also on Saturday, September the 30th. Now, these two sides have played each other 6 times since 1998. We've got 1 win for Salernitana, we've got 4 wins for Inter, and we've got 1 draw, of course. The biggest win for the host, that's 2-0 win, scoring 4 goals in those 6 games. That's 0.67 goals a game up against Internazionale. Of course, biggest win for them, 5-0 win, scoring 15 goals in the 6 matches. That's 2.5 goals a game. Just 1 defeat the past 6 as well for the visitors. 75% form. They are top with 15 points on the board. Up against Salernitana, who are 17th with 3 points on the board. Just 3 draws of the last 6. 25% form for them. Heading into this last time around at the Stadio Arecci, it was a 1-1 draw back in April 2023. The odds, though, for this one, we have 7-1 is your host here. Big underdogs. 50-4 is your draw. And 5-2 on is, of course, your visitors. Of course, Internazionale. 2-1 win for them on the road. 3 points in the bag. And, of course, remaining top of the table. Of course, Sassuolo up against Monza. Sassuolo doing A-OK. Coming at you on 2nd of October. That's a Monday. Played each other 9 times. 2006, we got 4 wins for Sassuolo, 2 wins for Monza, and we got 3 draws, of course. Biggest win for Sassuolo, 3-1 win. Scored 16 goals in the 9 matches. That's 1.78 goals a game. Up against Monza, 4-2 win, their biggest. 13 goals scored in the 9 games. That's 1.44 goals a game. Monza, though, just 1 defeat the past 5. 42% form for them. They are 15th for the table with 6 points on the board. Up against Sassuolo, on 50% form for them. 1-3 and lost 3 of the last 6. 9th in the table with 9 points on the board. Last time around at the Magpie Stadium, it was a 2-1 win for Monza back in May 2023. Monza, of course, unbeaten against them over the last season. Pick up a win and a draw. But the odds for this one on a Monday night, 5-4 is your Sassuolo. 11-4 is the draw. 15-8 is, of course, your away win here. Going to go with a 1-0 win for me for Sassuolo. 3 points in the bag again. Moving up the table, they go Torino up against, of course, where are you? Verona, that's right, on a Monday as well. Played each other 32 times since 1987. Got 14 wins for Torino. We've got 6 wins for Verona. And we've got 12 draws, of course. Torino's biggest win, 5-1 win, scoring 46 goals in those 32 matches. 1.44 goals a game. Up against Verona, their biggest win, 4-0 win, scoring 38 goals in the 32. That's 1.19 goals a game. They're, of course, on a winless run of 4 games now, 42% form for them, 14th for the table with just 7 points on the board. Up against Torino, their biggest win, of course, we talked about that, but they're on 50% form right now, 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2, of course, 10th for the table with 8 points on the board. Last time around at the Stadio Olimpico Gran Torino, it was a 1-1 draw back in January 2023. The home side's only won once at the last 6, and that's when Torino beat Verona back in January 2021. The odds, though, for this one, kicking off odds 2017 on is your Torino, 5-2 draw, and 7-2 is your away win here. We're going to back Torino here. They're doing good. 2-1 win for them. Up they go, and another 3 points in the bag. Next up, we have Udinese. They're taking on, of course, Genoa. Do you know what I mean? Of course, coming at you this coming Sunday, the 1st of October. Played each other 32 times in 1993. We've got 10 wins for Udinese. We've got 11 wins for Genoa. And we've got 11 draws. Of course, Udinese, though, 3-0 win their biggest, scoring 43 goals, though, in 32 matches. 1.34 goals a game. Genoa, they're, of course, biggest win for them. 4-0 win, scoring 47 goals in the 32 matches. 1.47 goals a game. Genoa, though, what are we looking at here? Just 1 win of 4 for them, 42% form. Of course, 11th in the table with 7 points on the board. Udinese, without a win the last 6, they are struggling. 18th in the table with 3 points. Right there, right now. Last time around, though, over at the Stadio Friuli, it was a 0-0 draw back in November the 2021. 4 the last 5 have ended up as a draw. So it's looking familiar already. Of course, 11-8 is your Udinese, 21-10 is the draw, 11-5 is your away win here. Which way do we go? Do we do it? Yes, we do. We're going to win another draw, 1-1 in the end, point apiece. And of course, that completes the set, guys. Of course, the games are coming thick and fast. Of course, next week will be the European aspects and stuff like that, the Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. But it's been non-stop for a lot of these boys, of course. But this is my picks for this week. And of course, if you want to get your picks in, of course, don't forget the Super Broom. Free to enter, wide open. Get your name in lights. But this is what the table will look like at the end of it. It'll still be Inter, it'll still be Milan and Napoli, with, of course, be a little bit, of course, colour drift, but still in the mixer as well. Salernitana, Empoli, Cagliari, they're all going down. That's, of course, my take. Be sure to give it some love and smash your subscribe, smash your thumbs up, hit the little bell, guys, and, of course, we'll see you soon for the next one.